Back on tour.
Rush is going back on tour. Yes, they are on their 50-something tour, 2026. And they've added more dates since the last time we talked about this, which was Monday night, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means prices won't be as steep and more people can go, right? Wishful thinking. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah.
So welcome to the second episode of our Rush 50-something tour discussions, playlist series, whatever you want to call it. We got a lot of ideas planned for this little mini series, but we're starting with, of course, well, we started with our initial reaction and thoughts, but now tonight we want to talk about the artwork. Before we get into that, if you like our content, please subscribe to the channel. If you really like our content, please leave us a tip on Ko-fi. It really does help. It helps pay for this new StreamYard platform. It helped to buy Paul a second monitor. Like, it helps buy like little things, technology. Please do like us on Facebook. We need to get to 100. It's brand new. We're brand new on Facebook. We need to get to 100 followers in order to stream there too, not just on YouTube. So that would really help us. Check out our merch store. Buy yourself a Rushfans t-shirt. We'd really appreciate it. Check out the lyrical genius of Neil Peart on Rush Lyrics on Instagram. And if you want to join an episode of Rush Roundtable, this isn't a Rush Roundtable, but we do another series called Rush Roundtable if you're new here. Pretty fun stuff. We bring people on, guests, some cool panelists. Or if you want to quiz the Rye Guys, we do a series called the Rye Guys Rush Quizzes. Send us a quiz. Email rushroundtable@gmail.com. So let's get into just the artwork. There's the one main graphic that they're using, which is behind us. I'm going to pull that up in full. And then there's some photographs that they're using and some other digital renderings that they're using as well. And we're going to talk about all of it tonight. Hopefully we won't be here for more than 20 minutes, but we hope that you'll stick with us. Leave some comments in the live chat, and we'll throw those on the screen. So the first one is the one behind us. This is the main 50-something artwork that Hugh Syme has done. Hugh Syme came out, I think, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday on his Instagram, where he said, he was totally aware of the tour. Obviously, he had to stay quiet. But this is what he was working on. And I think with just about all Hugh Syme's artwork for Rush, there are some subliminal meanings, messages, whatever, hidden things in this. I don't know if they're so hidden in this one. I think it's relatively obvious, but David, Alex, not Lifeson, go ahead. Tell me what you guys think.
It's green for go. Either a go for go to tour. That was a weird sentence.
Yeah.
But we're live. It's got to be weird.
But, we're all kind of weird here.
We are.
So another thought I had on the green light is, when Neil retired, it was, we're not going to do this. We're going to do our own stuff. Rush is done. Because Neil, you can't do this without Neil. And for me, the green light and the bird going away seems to say, we're going to let Neil go and continue to do what Rush does. Some interpret it as it's a green light from Neil saying, go. And again, it's all speculative and interpretive and whatever Hugh meant in conversation with getting Alex. 100,000 different possible meanings, but for me, it's almost like they can't play without Neil. But okay, now we're going to let that go.
That overall blue sky. I mean, it's wisps of clouds. It's not a cloudy sky. It's not a gray sky, a dark sky. It's this blue sky, which is a calming, cooling color. If I could work in some more C's and alliteration here, but the idea there that obviously the Rush as Rush stands out. You can't help but notice it, and it just speaks to a new beginning. Yes.
The guys doing what they want to do, which is very Rush.
Well, not just what they want to do, but obviously they have to do. It's who they are. It's more than a job.
They're compelled. Yes.
Yeah.
Signal green. Yeah.
So he's a signal turning green. Yeah. So there's something that I wanted to add to this. Well, two things. First, yes, the symbolism that we've kind of universally agreed we think it means, or what Hugh Syme was aiming for, was the two birds on the left, Getty and Alex. The bird flying, or that's separate from them, is Neil. Flying away, sure. I think it's important that he is in fact flying. That bird is in fact flying, because there's this whole idea that Neil's spirit and vision and lyrics and all that live on, and he's still, flying and or watching down or whatever, right? I also think there's significance to the line, the power line, whatever you want to call it. Now this is like definitely lower on the totem pole in terms of significance, I think, but they always called Neil never went, except for that last show, past the
backline,
equator line, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's significant that bird is below that line, and then the other two are on top of that line, instead of that bird being above the line flying away. Like, I think there's a little bit of significance to that, whether that was intentional or not. I think it's important to add, because I think it does in fact signify with certainty that that's intended to be Neil, right? So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I love the fact that Alex and Getty, those two birds, are just staring at one another. And I can't help but to think they're about to crack up, or Alex is about to say something that will just totally disarm Getty, and he'll laugh. And they're just looking at each other.
Yeah, here's another point from Rob Bukta, our buddy Rob. The birds are also the same species. Yeah, I think that's important too, because Rush was three talented musicians, right? Like, extremely talented musicians that are at the peak of their, or at the top of the list of greatest of all times for each musician, right? Like, I mean, I think that's very important as well. I don't know what species of bird that is. Can someone tell me? I'm not a bird geek.
Probably doves.
My porch, but
if anybody knows in the comments what species of birds those are, please let us know.
Yeah, we're looking at Rob on this one.
And
Rob. Please, Rob, Google it.
Also, too, I mean, the symbolic use of the words "birds on a wire" certainly can speak to a person who's in a precarious but free position. So, I mean, at that point, it's you could look at it as precarious for Getty and Alex, because of the fact that they've spent a career, they've spent a lifetime almost. I mean, certainly their adult lives playing, interacting, working with this one individual who has flown away. But I mean, and it's like I think Ryan said a couple minutes ago there. That, I mean, that it's, well, maybe both of you did, but I mean, it's the sort of thing where, I mean, we only have what we give away. I mean, we're all immortalized in our work and whatever we put into the world, whether people are just, I mean, in this case, certainly they're immortalized in the music that's there. It's going to outlive them. It's going to outlive us. And Neil's music is there and will be there. His lyrics are so much grander and more intense than most rock lyrics. So how could they not last? So
I think, Linda's comment is really, really good and right on point.
Mm-hmm.
As far as metaphor, right? And we always talk in metaphors, right? We rarely speak literally. Yeah, and Neil understood the use of metaphor. So that's really good. And finches, yeah, I think it might be finches.
I'm putting it into ChatGPT here. Hold on 1 second.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking them up too. Yeah, we need a close-up view on those birds, basically.
Common urban birds such as pigeons or doves. The one in flight has a similar body shape and coloration.
Well, that's the thing I wondered, because I mean, out of my father's house, it's not uncommon for doves to land on those wires, and it seems like that could be a thing. Though some dove photos I just called up, they don't look the same as what's depicted in the artwork.
It
Wonder if
says
they are
possibly
fins.
a rock pigeon. It
Hmm.
doesn't look like a pigeon to me.
Pigeons are a little bigger, I think.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if anybody knows, leave a comment.
Yeah. We're all just speculating.
Yeah, Getty would know. Getty's huge into bird watching.
That's true. So if Getty stumbles on here, we have a amateur ornithologist.
It's a good point.
Right now, we don't.
There from Dell. The flight of the bird is also similar to Fly by Night when he went to look for new horizons to London. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which kind of foreshadows more of the artwork. That makes sense.
Okay.
It would be a native bird to Canada.
They kind of look like finches to me. Anyways, I guess it doesn't really much matter, but I was just curious. The next thing on this, we're going to talk about a few of the band photographs and some of the promotional material too here. But the font used for the word Rush is snakes and arrows. I don't know if there's any significance to that. I don't know if it's just that's just what looked best, right, in this image. But maybe they're trying to use some foreshadowing that there's some Snakes and Arrows songs they'll pull out on this tour. I mean, there were 4 songs at the bottom of the record that weren't played live. Bravest Face, Good News First, Malignant Narcissism, right? I don't think was played live.
Interestingly, I mean, the R is exactly
on.
the same. Yeah, the S is a little different. Yeah,
is the S a little bit more narrow?
It's on the album cover, which I just pulled up. The S is very slight, more of a squiggle, whereas this S is more prominent. But at that point, I mean, obviously the R, the U, the H, those are the same. So perhaps they just Hugh Syme or one of his team they decided that they wanted it to be a more pronounced S. So perhaps they modified Snakes and Arrows.
Yeah, for sure.
Sideways on my screen.
Or I'm thinking Hugh Syme, is watching and going, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Yep. The light is a signal.
At that point, you can just comment and say, no.
Not what I meant.
Let's get into this. This photo and the next photo, to my knowledge, were taken by the photographer and I'm going to butcher his last name, but Richard Sebald. Sebald, yeah. That was the photographer for this. They're both and the next photo, which I'll share in a moment, but they're both in black and white. I'd assume there's probably some significance to that. I don't, exactly why, but it does look great. I mean, it's Alex with his arm around Getty, right? I mean, they're best friends. They look happy. It looks like and while they probably are, I would assume, still grieving to an extent, they look happy, right? They look like they're ready to go to the next phase of Rush, the next phase of their life, right?
Yeah.
So, thoughts?
Well, Sebald has a bunch of photos of them, and certainly a lot of the licensed promotional photos for when he was getting, the Epiphone guitar and whatnot.
Yep.
Many of those were in black and white too. I mean, Sebald got some. I mean, he took a lot of performance photos, left those in color, and some promo photos of Lifeson and Lee are color. But it does seem like black and white for some of these portraits he really is just defaulting to. I mean, it creates a strong contrast. And probably in some ways based on the fact that, let's be honest, perhaps it helps serve the age. I mean, it's kind of like, hey, gang, we've been here for 50-something years.
Yeah.
We're not getting any younger, and there's just a certain to the black and white, basically, is what I would say.
A certain what you cut out?
I would say it's a certain elegance. You know, I mean,
Sure.
it's the sort of thing that black and white photos. You know, there are still people who don't think of photography as an art form, and those who would they lean more into black and white. You know, I mean, granted, color photos have been, you know, classified as art for decades, but black and white is still what people would think of in an artistic fashion when it comes to photography. So that's just my thought. People can chime in on the comments.
And this is why we brought you on, for your vast intelligence about photography.
No one's chiming, though.
No one is chiming.
Chime, people chime. You know, just looking at them, yeah, again, they're happy. And why are they happy? They've been friends since junior high school, and their entire life has been, you know, they've also had life outside of music, and that's always been important to them, whether it's their family or their, you know, as Getty said in one of the documentaries, you know, this is one thing we've chosen to do, our music. Right?
Yeah.
But still, these guys have been best buds since junior high school. I mean, I know a lot of people still friends with the people that I was in junior high school with, but I can't think of a single one that I have this kind of bond and relationship with. So this has got to be very important to them, and to be able to go back and do what they've always done and what means the most to them and all the different, you know, articulations of their lives and whatnot has got to be a happy thing, and to feel that they can go do that. And interesting in this photo, you know, in the previous photo, they were all in black clothes. Now Getty's jacket is white. Don't know what it means. Don't know if that was intentional. You know, I'm not going to impose whatever I think upon their intentions. But you know, it's like Alex is, all black.
Is it the same undershirt?
But I wondered.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
This one's blank. This one has a design on there.
I mean, I imagine that Sebald put Leifson in back of Lee with the idea of saying that, okay, Getty's got this white or light colored jacket, so if Leifson's got a dark shirt, that helps to frame more of Getty.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I just
Getty
like the fact that
you know,
Getty is
hair,
pointing and Alex is being goofy.
Oh
This-
yeah, and that
This
too.
photo is basically classic Getty and Alex.
See, I take this as there was I can't remember what it was. I think it was like outtakes maybe from Snakes and Arrows or something. And Getty's like, "You're such an idiot," to Alex, but like in a good playful way. And I read that as this. Like I just like this idiot like over my shoulder just being his goofball self. Like that's how I read it.
You can't get rid of him.
Yeah, right. It's just like here's a good comment from Rob. As close to classy with Al around. School pictures reminds me a bit of class photos back in the school years. Yeah, that's a good comparison for sure. Yep.
And I mean, I also wonder if
dinner with Rush. This is when he put the fridge magnets in his mouth, and he's such an idiot. Yeah. Like,
nice.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. The fridge magnet.
I think this photo is could be a bit of a callback to some of the Vapor Trails photos, because you had Leifson jumping on Neil and giving him a hug, with Neil sort of like, "Why is this happening to me?" type of thing. And I mean, that was their return after Neil's cross-continent trek. So there was a return with Leifson hopping on Neil, and now basically he's going for the wacky vibe with his longest running friend.
It's another return. Right? I mean, the return of Neil after his loss, and now this is their return after their loss of their brother.
And again, Neil's music returns, Neil's lyrics return, Neil's drumming returns, and and we're not talking about that. That's for a different discussion, but
they'd still never be who they are today without Neil's lyrics,
right?
And drumming. Yeah. So they can never, ever, depart from that in any way.
Yeah.
And they know that.
All right. The last two images I want to show were from promotional videos from Instagram, from the Kia Forums page profile, and Madison Square Garden's profile. These are screenshots from videos that they Instagram reels that they threw up when this was announced. Now, these are the only two that I have because these are the only two that I could find. I couldn't find any for the other venues. I don't know if they weren't done or if they didn't post them yet or whatever, but these are the only two that I could find. And I took screenshots from the point in the video that I thought most represented that venue. Like, this was Los Angeles. This is the Kia Forum 1. And this was Madison Square Garden, Pennsylvania Station. The Penn Station is right below the Garden, and then you got Madison Square Garden in the background with Rush on the big screen and the owl sitting on a light wire, you know, like the traffic light wire, probably, I would assume is what that is. But some people were like, "Oh, that's AI generated crap." I don't know, man. I think if it was AI generated crap, I think Pennsylvania Station probably would have been spelled wrong. I mean, like,
I know AI generated crap, and this is not AI generated.
Correct. I don't think it's. I highly doubt it. The Rush logo wouldn't be as perfect as it is on there, right? Like, you'd have a lot.
Yeah.
It's very, very fly-by-night-esque, right? Obviously with the owl, which is a cool touch.
So go back to the Kia Forum one.
Yep.
So, Neil moved to LA, and that's where he lived the last years of his life in LA. Right. So it's not just the Kia Forum. This is where Neil chose to move and be with Carrie. And also, Fly By Night was Neil's debut with Rush. In 1975.
Yes.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. Yeah.
And then when you go to Madison Square Garden, still the same thing. They're returning, and I like the fact that you have the Rush logo from the first album, which was Rutsy. But you have the owl up on top when Neil joined the band. So it's sort of a metaphor of evolution and continuation.
David, I'll interrupt you and I say I think you're probably looking a little bit too far into that, because that Rush logo is not just the debut album artwork. That is the band's logo. That is the logo that is prominent for. I'm like, you know what I mean? So and the Starman, obviously, but that is Rush, right? So they're not going to put
that again. Yeah.
They're not going to put the Grace Under Pressure really narrow word Rush, or they're not going to throw out like a Pharaoh the King's like Celtic looking style like on that. Like, that is the logo.
Logo.
I didn't mean to rain on your parade. You might be looking a little bit
logo for every record, but this one is emblematic. You're absolutely right on that. But putting the owl on top of that, for me, seems to be kind of a continuity.
That could be fair.
With Neil, and then now there's a continuity with what Alex and Getty are doing now and bringing. We haven't even said her name yet, Annika. And a new beginning, just like Fly By Night was for the band. And again, I may be, as you said, Ryan, thinking too much into it, overthinking. That's what I get.
Well, I don't know who did these either. I don't know if Hugh Syme did these or what. I mean, if it's Hugh Syme that did these, maybe you're not looking too far into it, because he looks really far into his artwork, right? But I don't know. I don't believe these were credited as to who did them. So,
and if anybody knows differently, let us know in the comments.
But they are officially on their official page. I mean,
I don't think they're on the Rush page. They're on the.
Oh, it's definitely on the Garden page. Yeah, Madison Square Garden page.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're on the profiles of those venues. Yeah.
So it just seems to me that if it was going to be on the Garden page and it would be linked to their official page, I mean, if it was some kind of, quote unquote AI garbage, I don't think they would have wanted to let it, be there. You would think that their team would have removed it. So Just looking at it here, I mean, I was thinking the same thing as far as the idea that the logo does speak to the first album, and the owl does speak to the first Neil album.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Or we may find out it's AI generated, and we'll have to make a embarrassing apology for our
maybe.
Well, here's the other thing with that, like if the band themselves weren't involved in some capacity with these, there's no way that the Owls would look exactly the same and be on two different venues from two completely different markets across the country. I really don't think that the Kia Forum and Madison Square Garden are coordinating to create a Rush video for the, like, that doesn't make any sense. Clearly they were provided to them by the band or band management or whatever, right? I mean, like,
probably
it doesn't. So, why we didn't get them for the other venues, I don't know. Maybe there wasn't significant locations or whatever to throw in there to make it of substance. I don't know, but you know.
Also, this kind of happened really fast, right? So.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, Linda, your fly-by-night sweatshirt. You're going to be wearing that on on the Toronto shows. I hope they record it, and hope we see you with that fly-by-night shirt. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Well, here's an interesting one. If you look at the Wikipedia page for the Kia Forum, it has for the 2010s the Madison Square Garden era. Yeah, they basically, after acquiring the arena, the Forum in June 2012, the Madison Square Garden Company announced plans for a $50 million renovation. So at one point, the Kia Forum was purchased by the Madison Square Garden Company, and in the 2020s, it talks about an acquisition by a Clippers owner from MSG for 5 years ago. So at some point, they were linked. If they're not, I don't know if they're still linked.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing, but maybe.
Well, that being said, I still think Rush probably provided them to them, right? I mean,
you would think, yeah.
I mean, it just seems kind of random for them to generate something like this.
Yeah.
If they weren't provided for them, they probably would just throw up the tour dates, like, because each venue got their own.
I don't know. Does the owl look pissed off? You know.
Well, I think
it's just an owl.
I think all owls look pissed off.
Yeah, it's just angry owls.
Yeah,
and I would think too. You would think that if the band was going to generate something specifically, it would be for the Toronto show because that's their hometown show.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and it may not be anger. This owl's just very serious.
Yeah.
Come to these shows.
Yeah, I mean Neil often looked a little serious, so some people could think, oh, scary, but it's like, no, he's just serious and doesn't want to talk to people.
Resting Neil face,
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
All right, well, we can wrap up there. If there's any last comments people want to add, regarding the first image we threw up here or the other images of the guys, now would be the time to leave a comment. We will wrap up here, though. Definitely, again, if you're new to the channel, obviously, I think it's just organically going to happen that. Because this is an exciting time and Rush is back touring and the channel is going to get some new viewers and new commenters and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our other series. There's a lot of Rush talk on our channel. Deep dives with Donna Halper. We deep dived every single record in the past couple of years with Donna Halper. She was on all the episodes. We do song discussions. We do Rush quizzes. We do everything you can think of when it comes to Rush. So definitely check out our channel. If you want to become a part of our community, certainly reach out. Let me just throw that on the screen here real quick. If you want to join anything Rush Roundtable, send us a quiz to the Rye Guys. It's called Rye Guys Rush Quizzes. It originated with myself and my pal Ryder. Email everything to rushroundtable@gmail.com. That's how you can get in contact with us. But yeah, we will wrap there. Thanks, David. Thanks, Alex, for hopping on and talking artwork and photography with me and with our commenters. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.